Guys, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to make your own blacklight Funko Pop. Here's an order I just completed recently. I'm going to ship it out Monday. But alright, let's get started. So the first thing you got to do with your Funko Pop, you got to break it down. Got to take the head off. Got to take the base stand out. The wings are optional. They're pretty easy to break, so I'll just leave it in. But to take the base stand out, you got to soak the pop in hot water for a few minutes or so. Take it out and work it out. If you break it, it's not a big deal. I've broken some, like this one. I broke it right here. Yeah, see how I broke the base stand? So all I'm going to do is take a lighter, melt it, and stick it back on. And it should work fine. Just got to be careful. I didn't let it soak long enough. That's what happens. Alright, next thing you need is your paint. So this is what I use for a base coat. This is the fluorescent paint. You need a base coat with fluorescent paint. It doesn't matter how many coats of fluorescent paint you paint on, you won't get a solid base to it. Like, you just won't have a full coverage because it's translucent, so it's slightly see-through. But here's just a pop with the base coat on it. I haven't gone on with the blacklight paint. Yeah, important, base coat. Has to be similar in colors in this right here, and you have to paint under a black light so you can see where you're painting. Next thing is removing the paint from a Funko Pop. You don't have to. I normally don't, because I just don't really think it's needed. Some tutorials say it is, but personally I don't remove the paint. Like, this is painted on. I can't freehand that. Like, I don't have a steady enough hand. But so I just paint over it with yellow. I find that way easier. I don't take the red off of that. And you don't need a base coat of red to go on for your fluorescent paint on this. You can just go straight on with the fluorescent paint on this right here. Same thing with the mouth. These are completed heads. I have 4 completed heads now. But the tongue is already pink, so you don't need to put a pink base coat on it. It's already similar to the blacklight paint, so you can just go straight on with the blacklight paint. Same thing with the red in his mouth. Also, with your paint and your brushes, don't skimp out on paint. Like, don't get the cheapest you can find, because it doesn't work as well. I have some garbage cheap paint that I just don't like. I bought on Amazon, and it doesn't work good. Same thing with your brushes. Like, your brushes, you need to get some nicer brushes, and because it works better with higher quality brushes. They take paint better. It goes on smoother. Just don't get the cheapest you can find. Obviously, don't break the bank either. But my suggestion to you is get a little more expensive brushes. They go a long way. You can also, this is what I use to take off paint off pops. Also, I use it to clean my brushes. It cleans your brushes very well. But you got to be careful when you dry your brush off very well before you go back to painting with it, because this will take your paint right off. So you just spent the time painting. But you can get this at Walmart. This works very well. The paints you can get at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. That's where I go. Same thing on paintbrushes. I think no, you can get this at Hobby Lobby too. This is what I use for finish. I use satin because it's the most factory looking finish. You don't want to use gloss, it'll look weird. You can also use this. This is a little thicker. I like this because it's thinner. I might get the spray. I'm planning on getting the spray here soon, trying that out, see how that works. Also, thinning your paint is another tip. I use airbrush paint thinner. I also have an airbrush. I'm still working with that. But this right here, I put a couple drops of this in my paint, and it thins it out. Makes your paint last a little longer, and it just goes on overall smoother, in my opinion. You don't have to thin it. You can also thin it with water too. Acrylic paint's water based, so you can mix it with water. It'll have the same effect. I also am just starting out with glow in the dark pops. I use glow in the dark pigment that I mix with some clear acrylic paint. I get this stuff at Techniclo. It's a little expensive, but it works very well. Glows are super bright. I don't have any to show you right now, but this is a clear acrylic paint you can also get from the same site. But yeah, blacklight paint can be a little tricky. It takes about 2 to 3 coats per for your base coat and 2 to 3 coats of blacklight paint. Basically, you need to get a system that works for you. Like, I'll work on one part at a time. Like, I'll just do the body first. Like, I'll go through, do all the fine detail, then go with a bigger brush and do the rest. And yeah. Then after I do the body, I'll work on a wing, like one side of the wing. Like, I'll do this side, then I'll do that. It just depends. You gotta find a system that works for you. And when you're painting the blacklight paint, just use a blacklight paint. This is how I have it set up. It works nicely. But you can see like your brush strokes and stuff with the blacklight paint under a blacklight. Otherwise, you won't be able to see it. But yeah, that's all I really got. It's a quick tutorial on what I do. If you want any more tips, tricks, and how to blacklight paint your Funko Pops or painting in general, just leave me a comment down below. Like, follow. Thank you.